How to knit the crest of the wave lace stitch, English style. To download written instructions for this stitch pattern, visit newstitchaday.com/K527. For this tutorial, you'll need the following materials: a pair of knitting needles and a ball of yarn. Special thanks to our sponsor Lion Brand for providing today's yarn. Today we're using their Lion's Pride Woolspun, available exclusively at Michael's Craft Stores, in the color Aquamarine. For this stitch, you'll need to know the following techniques: knit, purl, knit two together, slip slip knit, yarn over. To begin this stitch, you'll need to cast on in multiples of 12 plus 1. Row 1. Knit all stitches. Row 2. We're going to knit all stitches. Row 3. We're going to continue knitting all stitches. Row 4. We're going to knit all stitches. Row 5. We're going to begin by knitting 1. Then we're going to start our repeat by knitting 2 together. And then we'll do that again. We'll knit 2 together once more. Now we're going to yarn over. So bring the yarn to the front and over the top of the needle, and then knit 1. And we're going to do this 2 more times. So we'll yarn over, knit 1, yarn over, and knit 1. So that was a total of 3 times that we did the yarn over, knit 1. Now we're going to yarn over once more, and we're going to do a slip slip knit. So we're going to slip the stitches knitwise, 1, 2, and then we will place our main needle back into those 2 and knit them together. Okay, that's 1 slip slip knit, and then we'll do it again. So slip slip and then knit. Alright, now we are going to finish up our repeat by knitting 1. And we'll repeat this sequence starting with the knit 2 together all the way across until the end of the row. And we're going to finish up our last repeat by knitting 1, and then we can turn our work. Row 6, we're going to purl all stitches. Now if you've never purled your first stitch, you want to keep your working yarn in front of your needle, and then we'll insert that needle purlwise and then work it like normal. Okay, and then we will purl each stitch all the way across until the end of the row. Row 7. After we've turned our work, we're going to start by knitting 1. Then we're going to begin our repeat by knitting 2 together. Then we'll knit 2 together again. Then we're going to yarn over and knit 1. Yarn over and knit 1. And we'll do that once more. Yarn over, knit 1. Now we're going to yarn over and slip slip knit. So slip knitwise, and again. Then we'll knit those 2 together, and we're going to do that once more. So slip slip knit, and we're going to finish up our repeat by knitting 1. So we're going to repeat this sequence starting with the knit 2 together all the way across until the end of the row. And we'll finish up our last repeat by knitting 1, and then we can turn our work. Row 8. We're going to purl all stitches across until the end of the row. Row 9. We're going to repeat rows 7 and 5 and start by knitting 1. Then we're going to begin our repeat by knitting 2 together and then knitting 2 together again. Should be pretty familiar with this at this point. Then we're going to yarn over and knit 1, yarn over and knit 1, and once more, yarn over and knit 1. Then we'll yarn over again, and we will slip, slip, knit. Then we'll slip, slip, knit once more. And we're going to finish up our repeat by knitting 1. So we're going to repeat this sequence starting with the knit 2 together all the way across until the end of the row. And again, we'll finish up our last repeat by knitting 1, and then we can turn our work. Row 10. We're going to purl all stitches across until the end of the row. Row 11. Again, we're going to be repeating what we've done in the odd number rows 5, 7, and 9, and we'll begin by knitting 1, and then we'll start our repeat by knitting 2 together. Then we'll do that again, knit 2 together, yarn over and knit 1, yarn over, knit 1, yarn over, knit 1, then we'll yarn over and slip, slip, knit, and then we are going to do another slip, slip, knit, and we'll finish up our repeat by knitting 1. So we'll continue repeating this sequence starting with the knit 2 together all the way across until the end of the row. Alright, we're going to finish up our last repeat. Alright, we're going to finish up our last repeat for that row with a knit 1, and then we can turn our work. Row 12. We're going to purl all stitches across until the end of the row. So we're going to repeat rows 1 through 12 until you've reached your desired length. And that's how you knit the crest of the wave lace stitch. After a few repeats, your pattern should look like this. Hey, I'm Johnny Vasquez, founder of New Stitch A Day and your teacher for this tutorial. I want to thank you so much for taking the time to learn from us. If you'd like to see more videos just like this, we produce new content every single day, hence New Stitch A Day. You can click the subscribe button so that you don't miss a single stitch. And if you click one of the links to the side here, you can see the previous stitch in our series or the next stitch in our series. And if you click this link, you'll be able to see one of my favorites. And don't forget, you can also download a PDF with the written instructions for this tutorial by clicking or using the URL link that's on the screen. Again, I want to thank you so much for learning with us, and I hope that we've helped make your knitting and crochet skills a little bit better today. Yarn on!